Sometimes you just want a lightweight theme that you can just set up and build a website super fast and, give it to the client. And when you use a page builder, it may take a bit of time because there's a lot of customizations you need to do. Today, I'm going to take a look at Neve. This is a product which I found very, very amazing because it works with the native WordPress Gutenberg. So if you're someone that spent a lot of time in Gutenberg, you are going to love this. Now, this is going to be an overview, and then I'm going to do a proper review where I cover all the features. So the link to Neve is going to be in the video description below. So check this out. This is what the product is. And of course, we don't want to spend too much time reading here, but I've gone ahead and installed it on my website. So if I come over here to appearance, you'll notice that under themes, I've already gone ahead and installed it. Okay. And it also comes in with a plugin. So if I come over here to installed plugins, you can see here we have the Neve Pro add-on. Okay. So as soon as you install it, you're going to have an entry over here on the left called Neve. So let's go to the dashboard and explore what we have here. So as you can see, these are the initial things that you can go in and set up. So here you can upload your logo, you can set your colors, and this will take you now to to the customizer. So over here on the customizer, setting all your colors is very, very easy. As you can see here, we can add our primary color. So we can just go in here and say, okay, maybe perhaps I want this as my primary color. I have my accent, site background, light background, and so on. Okay, so everything seems okay here. And then I can go back and continue on. Next, we have the container here. You can decide what sort of container you need. By default, we have this width, but you can set your own width right from the get-go. But again, if you don't want to go in and do a lot of settings, you can just use the defaults. So when I go back here to global, we're also going to notice that we also have page. And I really like this because when it comes to pages, I would have to create some templates in Divi, for example, to create how I want my pages to look. So if I click on cover, now at first I was like, okay, but I can't see what I'm doing. What does the cover look like? But if you click here on the page itself, like for example, in this case, sample page, you'll notice that you get an idea of what this page is going to look like. So over here, we have the cover height. Again, I don't mess around with any of this. I leave them as it is. But what I really like is we have some alignments here. If you need to align it, you can align it like that. We have your positioning, and it's simple positioning. You don't need you don't even need presets. You don't need any crazy settings to get this up and running. So there, if you prefer it on the bottom, which in my case I do sometimes, we also have our opacity here. So you can play around with the opacity, and you can also add your color. So let's say you had a specific color you want to add in here from your branding. You'd go in and add your color here. You also have your gradients, which you can go in and add as well, which I think is really cool. So once you've done this, pretty much your pages are going to have that sort of layout. And then further down here, we have your content vertical spacing. So if you want to add your custom spacing, you can also add it over here. But I'm going to leave everything on inherit. So I know at this stage, you're probably saying, well, what makes this really, really special? What's so amazing about Neve? Well, if I get out of here and let's say I want to now start designing a website, I think the superpower here is over here on the starter site. So if I click on starter site, you can see here I haven't installed and activated anything. I can click on install and activate. So this is where we have all our templates ready for us to set up. So here we have these different categories. We have e-commerce, we have education, we have business. So let's say you want to add a business theme. In fact, you can scroll through here and see which layout or design you want to go with. Perhaps you want something, really basic. So let's take a look at this one here. So I'm going to click on it. And just by doing that, it's giving me an idea of what it's going to look like. Now, what I really like about this is over here, I can start playing around with the color palettes and change my design right from the get-go here. So here's my base color. I can go in and change, my color palettes. So you can see here, it is changing based on the color palettes here. So let's say I'm going to go with the basic one here. If I scroll down, we also have our typography. So here, I think what they've used here is fine, but if I want to change it, I can just go in and change it by choosing my font here. Next, I can click on continue. Now, if I need to install WooCommerce, it's going to install WooCommerce for me here. But if I don't need to do that, I can just uncheck it and I'm good to go. Next, we also have our caching, but I'm not going to, worry about that. Next, I'm going to say import website. So this now is going to import a complete website, saving me hours and hours of designing a complete website. Here we also have the about page, we have the shop, we have the blog, and you can see here everything just looks really, really clean. Look at that. This is really, really cool. So I want to give you another example because this is just a preview. So let's say this is a health website. Perhaps you want to create a gym website. If you come over here, again, you can do a quick preview of what your website looks like. And again, these are well designed. I really like the simplicity of it. It communicates really well. And if I go into the gym here, it shows me all the pages, the group. So here, everything is already set up for me, which I think is really, really nice, saving you a lot of time. So again, like before, I can go in and change my colors. So we also have a dark mode here and a light mode. So it's up to you which version you want to go with. And again, as before, we have our fonts here. So I'm just going to say continue, and it's asking me for a contact form. I'm going to leave that. In fact, I'm going to uncheck that, and then AI chatbot, I'm going to leave that and then say import website. So if I click on start import, I want to see how long it's going to take. I'm not even going to edit anything. I'm just going to speak over this and see how long it's going to take for me to have a website super fast. So you may be thinking, is it necessary to go this route to set up a website? Yes, in some cases it is very, very necessary because you want to save a lot of time. Now look, we're only 7 minutes into this, but I can pretty much go over here and say submit and review the website. Now here, in fact, I haven't gone through this. I'm a beginner, build this site for let's say a company, and then I'm going to say submit and review, or I can skip this and view the site. In fact, let's just skip. Okay, so now this is our site. It looks brilliant, but I noticed that on the home page here things don't look good because I have this massive item here. So let's see how quickly we can go in and remove that page heading on our website. So it seems to be pretty much everywhere else. Yep. Okay, it's everywhere else, but because my site is complete, I may choose not to have this. So this is where I can go to Neve and themes, and over here, now remember how I did this. I went to the dashboard. In fact, I went to customize, I think. Yes, I went to customize. So over here now, I can go to global page, and right now it's set to cover. I just need to remove that to normal, and my website now is normal. I can hit publish, and if I now preview this website, it is going to be normal website. So I'm going to come over here and paste. So if we take a look at this now, I can go to the gym, and that looks great. But every time I design a website, I want to see how it looks like on mobile devices. So I'm going to right click, inspect, and then I'm now going to drag this over. And so far, so good. So far, so good. Look at that. Okay, so out of the box, this is mobile friendly. Look at that. And this is very, very important because chances are a lot of people are going to view this website on a what? On a mobile device. And this is really, really cool. Out of the box, I did not need to go in and set anything up here. Out of the box, this template is just ready for me to start working. Now, I also want to see how easy it is for me to go in and customize this text. So if I say edit page, you'll notice that throughout all this, I haven't installed a page builder or anything. I'm just going to get out of here. In fact, what's this? Auto blocks. Okay, so this is for the WordPress block editor. So let's take a look here. So it has quite a few features here, but in my case, I'm not looking at that. I want to see how easy it is for me to make adjustments to this. So as you can see, I can go in here into the text, into this block. And when I come over here to this block, I can go in, I can set up my text. You can see I've set it to medium. And if I need to, this is AI, I think, auto AI content. So if I say rephrase, okay, so I need an API key here. So perhaps I will set that up on another video. But I think you can see quickly that this is really cool to go in and edit super fast. So with that selected again, let's get rid of this. I can go into the block, come over here, set this to medium, and you can see my text here has been set. Now, if I need to go in and take a look at the size, I can go in and take a look at the size here and also the dimensions. And if I need to change my image, I can go in here and make some changes. So I can change my thumbnail size, the resolution, the box shadow. You can see I've added a shadow there. I know it's not easy to see, but it can, add your shadow. I can add some animations. So let's say you want to, okay, you can see there from my animation, but that's too abrupt. I may not like that. Okay. So if you're someone that uses, let's say, Divi, for example, you may be thinking, well, but Mac, why is this important? Well, as you can see, they have really nice starter sites, mobile friendly out of the box, very easy to install, and they have a massive library of all these layouts. And like I say, this is a quick overview. I am going to do a full review of this product, but just by playing around with this, this is a massive time saver, and this site is super lightweight and it is very, very fast. So if you want to set up a website super fast, super quick, I would highly recommend that you try this theme. I'll leave this link in the video description below. So in the next videos, I will be doing a full review, and then we're going to approach a project really fast, because sometimes as designers, we get these quick jobs that need to be done really fast. So this is one of my go-to when it comes to that. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments box below. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.